Hello, everyone. This reading is for fire signs for the month of June 2020. So, if you are an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you're in the right place. I want to thank you all for joining me as we take a look at the month ahead. We are currently in Gemini season. Gemini season is for basically the first 3 weeks of June, and then we switch into Cancer season. So taking a look at the major dates for this month, starting things off on the 5th of June. Oh, also Gemini is ruled by air. So we just moved from Taurus season into Gemini season, which Taurus was ruled by Earth. And so now we are in an air sign. Okay, so the 5th of June, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. But also what is special about this is that we have also entered eclipse season this June. So we have a lunar eclipse on the 5th as well as the full moon in Sagittarius. So prepare for some big changes going on, but there also might be a feeling of really just needing to surrender. Maybe there's not a lot that you can do about those changes, so it's just really being an allowance during this time, and also practicing self-care during this full moon. Okay, then I also want to mention that we have 4 planets in retrograde that are going to continue to be retrograde throughout most of June. I'll highlight the one that is moving out of retrograde when we get to that date. But right now we have Saturn in retrograde, Venus, and Jupiter, and Pluto that all started retrograding back at the end of April and through May. So now on the 17th of June, we were going to have Mercury joining those planets in retrograde as it goes retrograde on the 17th in Cancer. So this is a really good time during a Mercury retrograde. I know people, it kind of gets a bad rap, but it just really is a time to slow down. All retrogrades are a time to slow down. In particular, this time right now. So this is the Mercury retrograde in Cancer is going to be a really good time to focus on the home, and the energy could actually make you a little bit more extra sensitive as it's in Cancer. Cancer is the empath of the zodiac. So just preparing for that. If you're feeling more sensitive during this Mercury retrograde, it's because it's in Cancer. That's why. And so then right after that, on the 17th, on the 20th is like the big day in June. We have, not only are we switching from Gemini season into Cancer season, but this is also the day of the summer solstice. So it's the first day of summer. And we also have a new moon in Cancer with a solar eclipse this day. So really just hold on to your hats. Try and be as consistent as possible through this day. And this is actually a really good time to celebrate. And the summer solstice is a good time to welcome the summer. Just try not to engage too many big changes with all these planets in retrograde, with all the eclipses. June is eclipse season. Just really kind of keeping things consistent as possible during that time. But don't forget to celebrate. Okay, so on the 25th of June, we are going to see Venus go direct. So one planet is going to be coming out of retrograde in June. Mercury retrograde is usually only about 3 weeks long, so we'll see that come out of retrograde probably in early July. But Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, hold on, because those aren't going out of retrograde until fall, basically. So September, October, we won't be seeing those planets go direct until then. So big themes there. With Jupiter, it's all about your luck. Saturn is all about karma and challenges, and Pluto is all about death and dying and transmutation and the shadow work. So if you really find yourself reviewing and reflecting on these things during this time that have been going on since end of April, mid-May, they're going to just continue this type of slow down and review process in those major themes until fall. So fire signs, let's take a look at your month ahead. Again, if you're an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo, you are in the right place, and that can be sun, moon, or rising. Or if you're like me, my sun is in Aries, my moon is in Leo, and my rising is set in Sagittarius, so this is my video. We're going to take a look at your month ahead. Oh, they're ready. Okay, your first card this month, fire signs, is Judgment. Major Arcana coming in big to the season, to June 2020, and we have the Ace of Pentacles, fire signs, followed by the Ten of Wands, into the King of Cups, into the Knight of Wands, into the Fool, into the Empress, and finishing off your month with the Hermit. Wow, fire signs, you have some very big cards this month. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas that you're going to be working with over this month. So some major themes are going to be highlighted for you, especially as you enter this month. We have Judgment here. Fire signs, this is a time for you, especially during these retrogrades, to really slow down and to contemplate, to review, to reflect on the world, basically, right now. There's a lot going on in the world. Fire signs, we tend to have very quick energy, and we also can be extremely passionate about things. Not saying that other elements cannot be that, but it's just generally in the nature of the fire to have quick emotions. So you're going to be entering into this month of June 2020 feeling really reflective about the world, your place in the world, and how your actions affect the greater good. So this is a time for you to really kind of step up and use that energy however that feels comfortable for you, or how that kind of fire drives you, or that passion drives you, but to really think about how you can best utilize your energy. So Judgment is all about really seeing the bigger picture and being able to see things come together. So you're going to really be reflecting on that as we enter June this month, fire signs. And then the end of that first week, you have the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like there is the Ace of Pentacles, the message that I'm hearing for you fire signs this month is give and receive. Really being able to put yourself out there and to give, but you're going to feel that coming back in as well. So it's like kind of as quickly as things come in, they're going to go out, but it's like in this way of feeling this divine flow and like really understanding how one thing feeds into another. And there's also this feeling of abundance I'm hearing for you fire signs. So really being able to see where you can share, whether it's in monetary energy, like lending a helping hand, whatever that looks like. I just see that energy of give and receive for you at the end of that first week. So maybe working with that Judgment card energy, the beginning of that first week of seeing like really how you fit in, and really contemplating that, there'll be some action around that This is also during the full moon in Sagittarius and during the lunar eclipse. So Sagittarius is a fire sign as well. So it might really illuminate some things during this full moon for you fire signs, where you're going to really see where you can be of service in a really effective way this first week of June. The second week, we have the 10 of Wands. So also, that first week and coming into this month could be a lot of energy for you fire signs. So if you need to take a pause, if you need to take a slow down, remember to, there are all these planets retrograding. If you feel like there's too much, it's too much, everything's too much, give yourself that pause or that break or that release, whatever that looks like or whatever that feels like for you. This is really about being with the King of Cups at the end of this week. This is about giving yourself space to explore your emotions. So you might be really this second week of June feeling a bit like overworked and needing that space to like check in with yourself, to check in with your emotions, to see how you feel about things. Again, fire signs, you are a very, like, we're a very passionate sign, like I was saying, so that we tend to like burn a lot of energy. So that second week coming in, if you need to take some time to yourself, if you need to take some time to reflect, please give yourself that to go deeper within your emotions. It's a good time. There's not a lot of other astrological activity during that second week until Mercury starts to go into retrograde on the 17th, which is just a little bit outside of that second week, but you might be feeling the shadow as well for that Mercury retrograde. So the energy really is going to kind of be pulling you into that emotionally reflective place, especially with this Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So, and this is a time for you just to have to really go deep within your emotional body, fire signs. This is a time to learn yourself in a deeper way and to really master your emotions. There's going to be a lot of learning, I'm hearing, for you fire signs, but it's not like this hard, rough road. It's about being more compassionate with yourself so that you're really open to your own capabilities and how deeply you can feel about things. That's really beautiful. Okay, so going into the third week of June, fire signs, we have the Knight of Wands here. This is the week where Mercury is going to go retrograde full on. We also have the summer solstice in Cancer, the new moon in Cancer, Cancer season beginning. That's all taking place during this third week. So you could really feel the Knight of Wands and so having like this boost or this resurgence in creative energy, really feeling movement or direction in your career or which way that you would like to take something. I feel like you might be making just having this inner knowing, like there's this certain level of confidence here where you're really ready to show or present yourself and to be out there. It's still a little bit raw with showing up as the Knight of Wands, so it might take a little bit of getting used to, but you're really going to feel yourself with that momentum there at the beginning of the third week. And I feel like this time with the new moon, the summer solstice, remembering to take some time to celebrate the change, the transition into the summer season, into Cancer season. I'm also hearing there might be a little bit of defensiveness. So just be a little aware of that and just know that's like more of the energy of the planet if you feel yourself being more defensive. And try not to take things too personally this week also, okay? And then we have the Fool, our second major arcana of your reading. So from this point out, all the cards for you fire signs are major arcana. Interesting. Finishing off the month with the big themes, all boom, boom, boom. So with the Fool at the end of your third week, again, keeping in mind all those things that are happening on the 20th and Mercury going retrograde this week, this is really a time for you to feel new beginnings and to really feel the expansive blossoming of the work that you've really been putting in over this past year. I feel like it's coming in, like through this year, this is a time for like something new is going to come in for you, a new offering, even new energy, but really feeling like you've been able to hit the reset. And maybe that comes with the rest that I see you taking in the second week, but feeling just really inspired and like ready to put yourself in the position to really learn more from new experiences. There you go with the Fool. The end of the second or the third week. So welcoming that summer solstice, welcoming the Cancer season, welcoming the solar eclipse. Just also really trying to keep things light during that time for you fire signs and giving yourself some relief. I'm hearing from the Fool. And I feel like there also could be a shift in perspective coming for you the end of the third week, fire signs. Okay, so now we're into the last week of June. We've just switched from Gemini season into Cancer season. So we've gone from the air of Gemini season into the water of Cancer season. And we have the Empress waiting for fire signs here as we've switched into that for the final week of June 2020. So the biggest event to be taking place this week, fire signs, is Venus goes direct. So one planet out of the 5 that have been retrograding this whole month is actually going to start moving direct on the 25th. So I feel like this could be actually very, this occurrence could be a big relief for you fire signs. It could have really been kind of holding things in your relationships in a holding pattern, but it was a good thing because it was supposed to, this Venus retrograde was really about like clearing things. I know that I've really been experiencing that myself, of just really feeling like a new confidence in my relationships and really letting go of the past. And I'm hearing the Empress is just really present this week and really feeling this energy of luxury and self-awareness and self-love and feeling very in control of her life and her perspective. So whatever kind of clicks into place with the Fool at the end of the third week for you fire signs is going to be a really great platform or setup for the beginning of the fourth week and this Venus retrograde ending, where you're going to feel more open to receive, I feel like, relationships, but from a place of more deeply understanding yourself and what you would like from those relationships and what you have to give in those relationships. So that is the beginning of the third or the fourth week. And then the end of the month, fire signs, you're closing out with the Hermit. So for this fire signs, there's going to be more of a call for you. I feel like you're going to be really feeling those retrogrades, even though Venus has just moved out of retrogrades, and the other themes such as karma and challenges with Saturn in retrograde, and your luck and good fortune with Jupiter, and death and dying and transmutation and the shadow with Pluto. I feel like you're going to really be prompted to do that inner work at the end of the month, fire sign. So this is really, like, I see this kind of pattern for you over this month of June, fire signs. It's really like big, starting off with like judgment and moving into like seeing the big picture, but then knowing how to move, and then taking a break and going deeper within your emotions. So it's like this pause and then go deep within yourself and within your inner world. And that is the cycle for you this month. And that's how you're going to be ending this month with the Hermit, of really going in, reflecting, really connecting with your own divinity and your own light, and really being able to expand upon that in a way that is like truly shedding skin, like shedding some old ways. We are shifting. There's a big shift in consciousness. So as you go through this pattern of this month, fire signs, you're really going to be like making these amazing like moves or strides, but it's like also like tending to your inner healing and to your inner work as well. And one is really going to be feeding into the other. So it's like this very divine balance for you fire signs this month to be able to go deep within your inner work and then come back and share. So it's like pulling these things from inside yourself and from other realms, and giving yourself space to explore those realms, and then being able to know how to bring that to fruition in this reality. So this is a very exciting month for you, fire signs. I want to thank you all for joining me this month. If you would like to book a one-on-one with me at any time, you can do so at my website at tarotbymegan.com, and just choose the book an appointment feature. All of my pricing is on my services page. And if you like these readings, check out my Patreon page. The link to both my website and my Patreon page is going to be in the comments below this video. And on my Patreon page, you're going to find more in-depth readings by astrological sign. So if you like these readings by astrological element, come find my ones by astrological sign. And this month, I would like to share that I'm going to be donating 100% of my proceeds from Patreon to organizations to help dissolve the centuries of oppression in the United States. So I've done some research and I have some organizations picked out. But just know that if you become my patron this month, all of my proceeds, even if you sign up to be my patron in the middle of the month, all of that money is going to go to these charitable organizations to help end racism and prejudice in the United States. So this is the month to become my patron on Patreon, as like I said, donating 100% of all my Patreon proceeds to charitable organizations to end racism and prejudice, specifically in the United States, and what is happening in Minneapolis right now. So I feel like it's important to take a stand with our voices as well as our money. So if you become my patron this month, just know that 100% of that donation, besides what Patreon takes from their percentage, all of that is going to be donated to charitable organizations this month. So I want to thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next month. Oh, and if you would like to join me for any of my Akashic Records classes, I have my level 1 Journey to the Akashic Records, which is a guided meditation, and it lives in a secret Facebook group. So you just have to have an active Facebook account to do level 1. I guide you through a meditation that takes you to the Akashic Records. So you become actually familiar with the space and what it's like through guided meditation. And that you can do anytime. You can purchase that on my website on the shop page at tarotbymegan.com. Anytime. It's not time specific. So once you purchase, I request to be your friend on Facebook, and then I add you to the group, and then the meditation and the class is yours to have forever. So the second level, where I start to teach you how to access the Akashic Records through a pathway prayer, that is going to be on Saturday the 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Zoom. So that one is more time specific, but I do my classes level 2, learning the Akashic Records, and level 3, mastering the Akashic Records at the end of the month. So you have all month to do level 1, because you have to do level 1 to come to level 2, and you have to do level 2 to come to level 3. So Level 2, where we start exploring the pathway prayer and how to open the records for yourself using the pathway prayer and then how to start to read them for others, is going to be on the 27th of June from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then level 3 is going to be on Tuesday evening, the 30th of June, from 7 to 9 p.m. also via Zoom. These are all online classes, so you can be anywhere in the world to do my Akashic record to do my Akashic Records classes. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me this month, and don't forget, if you become my Patreon this month, 100% of the proceeds are going to charity. So thank you all for joining me. I love you so much, and fire signs, I will see you next month. Bye.